Hello and welcome to Gradient's weekly roundup of key economic and business developments in Sri Lanka for the week ending 9th December 2022. I'm Nishani Pigera and here are the top stories for this week. 10-year moratorium for Sri Lanka's debt from Paris Club. Sri Lanka granted access to affordable World Bank loans. Japan offered East Container Terminal at the Colombo Port. We will also briefly look at other notable news and wrap up with the capital markets update. In our main story this week, the Hindustan Times reported that the Paris Club group of creditor nations proposed a 10-year moratorium on Sri Lankan debt and another 15 years of its restructuring. It notes that this group is yet to formally reach out to India and China, Sri Lanka's two largest creditors, further adding that Colombo is yet to initiate a formal dialogue with China and that the chances of obtaining an IMF fund facility approved from its executive board in December ranges from very low to non-existent. Of the island nation's $35 billion external debt, about 20% is owed to China and roughly $800 million to India. Sri Lanka is now eligible to borrow from the World Bank's International Development Association window. This is a cheaper source of loans and follows Sri Lanka's request to be degraduated back to IDA eligibility despite its middle-income country status. Previously, the island nation was borrowing under the World Bank's International Bank for Reconstruction and Development window, where loans are priced closer to market rates. Commenting on the matter, Ali Sabri, Foreign Minister, states that this enables the country to access resources to help sustain institutions become more resilient and responsive to the needs of the people. Also on Monday, President Ranil Wickremesinghe, speaking at the Sri Lanka Economic Summit of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, stated that Sri Lanka has offered the East Container Terminal of the Colombo Port to Japan. He added that to make the terminal a reality, it has to be given to Japan, and should they not take it up, other developers will be sought. This is a significant development as the previous government, under pressure from trade unions, cancelled a tripartite agreement in 2019, which included India's Adani Group and Japan for the construction of the very same terminal. In other news, Sri Lanka's trade deficit in October contracted to $285 million. A significant shortfall in imports, which fell 21% from a year earlier to $1.3 billion, helped the cause. However, exports also declined 12% to $1 billion for the first time in 7 months. This is a result of global demand for industrial products led by garments reducing due to the possible global recession. Textiles and garments exports fell to $443 million. Meanwhile, foreign worker remittances in October reached $355 million, up 12%, and earnings from tourism were about $75 million. The net surplus in dollars in the month helped reduce the balance of payment deficit. According to Nimal Silva, Colombo's harbour master, 17 cruise ships are scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka next year. This includes Queen Mary II, considered to be one of the largest in the world, with a capacity of 3,200 travellers. He added that a record high 54 cruise ships arrived in 2019 and that over 60 were expected in 2020 prior to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. The SLTDA reported that to November, just over 620,000 had visited the country. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and Lanka IOC reduced the price of auto diesel by 10 rupees. Accordingly, the new price of auto diesel will be 420 rupees per litre. And now let's take a look at the weekly movement of the All Share Price Index and the S&P SL20 Index at the Colombo Stock Exchange. At the Treasury Bill auction held on Tuesday, yields on 364-day maturities fell slightly, while the 91 and 182-day maturities were unchanged. Of the 145 billion rupees worth of bids, about 76 billion rupees were accepted. And here's how the rupee performed against the dollar this week. And that's a wrap for this week. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel at the link below for more updates on economic and business developments in Sri Lanka. Until we see you again next week, thank you for watching. Stay safe.